Hey guys, welcome to Two Guys.
Two Fat Guys.
Two Fat Guys. Thanks for clarifying that. Two Fat Guys. We don't want to forget that.
Yeah.
We're reminded every time we look in the mirror.
Every day.
Guys, welcome to Two Fat Guys Talkin Football, the Inside UCLA video blog with Jon Gold of the Los Angeles Daily News, Sam Strong, Daily News, Daily Bruin, Ryan Menezes behind the camera. Daily Bruin, we are here talking UCLA, Stanford, and then UCLA, Washington State. UCLA coming off a 45-19 loss at Stanford Stadium, full house.
And then 40-yard dash after that.
And then the awesome 40-yard dash between Sam and I. Let's talk football. Like we were talking, UCLA 45-19 loss to Stanford, and if you look on the message boards, on the blog commenters, on mine, on other blogs and everywhere, I mean, DEFCON 1. You think the world's coming? It's 2012, by now.
Yeah.
UCLA getting blown out by Stanford. I kind of thought that was going to happen. I projected 44-20. It was 45-19. I win my own pool.
Yeah. Am I crazy here? Because I was talking to Sean Westgate in the locker room after the game. Kind of talking about how this loss was reminiscent of the Texas loss. Houston loss, not so much. But anyway, he, kind of took my question, then looked at me and said, "Is Houston undefeated?" I said, "Yeah." "Is Texas undefeated?" I said, "Yeah." "Is Stanford undefeated?" I was like, "Yeah." He's like, "There you go." So, I don't think that this team should be in panic mode, because when I went through the schedule to start the year, I predicted 2 and 3 at this point. I predicted I predicted they'd lose Houston, Texas, and Stanford, and they'd beat San Jose and Oregon State, and I think they'll win this weekend. But I don't think it's time to start.
Sam, because I think the difference is it's style points versus not style points. You're just looking at the final score. We're just not looking deeper than the final score. And I think I
don't want to have this argument again.
Well, we don't need to get into it to that extent. And you look at just the Stanford game. Forget all the other games. You look at the Stanford game. And I think the reason that fans are upset, or the reason that there's this, we're leaving so much on the table, is because UCLA is leaving so much on the table.
Okay.
The first drive, they go 80 yards, 79 yards, and they stall with 4 straight running plays on the goal line. And then Stanford comes back, and all of a sudden, a game that might not have been winnable, on the onset, kind of looks a little winnable. UCLA was controlling Stanford.
Okay, but the knock last week was, or San Jose State week was, we're too conservative. We're punting from the 35-yard line. These are the fans, by the way.
Okay.
We're punting when we're inside San Jose State territory. So, what more do you want than Neuheisel winning the toss, taking the ball, going down the field, and going for it on 4th down?
I think you want a pass call. I think you have a 6'8" tight end, you have a 6'5" wide receiver, a 6'4" wide receiver.
They called a pass on the next series when they had 4th and 1, and they scored a touchdown.
Yeah, but they didn't call one when you needed one against Stanford. Yeah. And to me, it's not about the idea of sending a message to the other team, as in, hey, we're going to play this way, and it's going to go, and we're going to control it. It's sending a message to your own players. And I think that's something that needs to change.
What message did you want them to send?
That we're going to do whatever it takes to score and not run the ball up the middle 4 straight times. And I'm not talking about running an oop-de-oop. I'm not talking about running a hook and ladder from the 2-yard line. But the pistol offense.
You're not talking about diving from the 4-yard line?
It's that kind of stuff.
That's right.
I mean, that to me, and this is something I want to talk about a little bit, is, we've heard for 2 years that the pistol is just a formation. It's not an offense. And we can go into whatever offense we want. You're at the half-yard line, and you're still running shotgun? That's the kind of stuff that I don't really quite understand. It's UCLA talks a big game about having all these options. We can go 3-4 if we want.
You gotta dance with who brung you. The pistol brung you.
To the half-yard line.
Yeah, I agree. They should have called a pass.
But it's okay. The issue that I have is not that they're not calling passes or any of that kind of stuff. It's that it's this pattern of decision making that leans towards conservatism, or leans towards we want to keep the score low, and all that kind of. I don't think you can do that in 2011 in the Pac-12.
I will knock on the conservative aspect a little bit, because we've long known that Taylor Embry, the only reason he's returning punts is because he waves his hand in the air when the ball gets kicked. Yeah. Then reels the ball in. They get the ball right there and go along their way.
You look like a punt returner.
We'll see in the 40-yard dash coming up at the end of the show. Anyway, so they're basically raising the white flag on punt returns, right? They're basically saying,
to some extent,
okay, Taylor Embry is sure-handed enough. He's going to catch the ball, and we're going to start our drive.
He did catch the ball, and his issue was, I don't. You can't rag on him. He's had one.
No, I'm not ragging on him, but I'm just saying how typical of that of their team is the only guy that they're sure he can catch a punt, and when they get 2 3-and-outs and need the ball, he doesn't call for a fair catch for the first time in forever, and fumbles the ball and gives Stanford a
It's UCLA-esque.
and the game's out.
I mean, there's really no way. It's Bruin-esque for sure. And it's those little things, and I think UCLA is learning it this year. And going into the year, I think I was a pretty loud proponent about the talent on this team, and I think I was one of the ones saying that if they got the breaks, if everything broke in a certain way, and Arizona State was hurting at a certain time, USC was hurting at a certain time, and maybe Texas still has their quarterback, all those little tiny breaks. If those lined up, then you can kind of look at it as UCLA, maximizing the talent and coming out with 8 wins, or 7 or 8 wins. Now what we're seeing is that it's not only about those breaks. It's not only about, they don't have to just get lucky, they have to be good, and they haven't been good. And that's the surprising thing.
And Stanford is the exact opposite. They execute every play,
and they make their own luck.
Perfection.
They make their own luck.
No pun intended.
I know. I was trying to get away with it for like half a second. I was like, "Wait, don't go!" Damn it! I already went there. So we're also going to talk a little bit about the opponent coming up, UCLA versus Washington State. Surprising Cougar team, 3-1. 3-1 coming into the Rose Bowl. I don't know how to pronounce the guy's name. Marshall Lobistal, something like that.
Sure.
Getting the start today. That's pretty interesting news. Over Jeff Toole, who I think has some of the best ability in the conference. Just kind of talk about this matchup coming up.
Washington State can throw it all around the field.
They can.
I watched a little bit of that game against Colorado.
And UCLA banged up again in the secondary.
Yeah, so
we don't know who's coming back. Tony Dye looks okay out there today. He's moving around. Jamie Graham has kind of impressed me today. He had a really nice pick today.
Yeah.
At a certain point, does it become about the defense that UCLA is playing and not what the other team is doing? Because it doesn't really seem to matter.
I think
San Jose State's running the ball up the gut.
I think
there seem to be some fundamental issues.
Yeah, well, I was on the Pac-12 coaches conference call this morning, and someone
big time
said, "Oh yeah, thanks a lot." Didn't ask a question, but another interesting point is Todd Howard is on the defensive. He's a defensive line coach.
Yes, he is.
So he might know a little bit of what their carryover is. Anyway, someone asked Paul Wolf, what's the difference between this year's UCLA defense as opposed to last year's UCLA defense? And without saying it, he kind of said they sag off. They play a lot more zone than they did last year.
Yeah.
And I think that's been my main issue with the defense.
I 100% agree.
All season is not enough man-to-man, not enough press from the corners, and I wouldn't be surprised if Marshall, whatever his name is, and Paul Wolf kind of took advantage of that.
However, at a certain point, it's not only about the okay, we're running too much zones, we're running too much, this or whatever they're doing. It's about in-game adjustments, and that is, to me, has been the most surprising thing about this. Is they have seen the opposition do one thing for 30 minutes and do it very well, and then let them do the exact same thing the next 30 minutes.
But you gotta
Andrew Luck went 23 of 27.
You got to give him a little bit of credit for getting those 2 3-and-outs starting with their quarter.
Thanks so much for watching Two Fat Guys Talking Football. Jon Gold, Sam Strong, Ryan Menezes, thanks so much for watching. Inside SoCal.com/UCLA.
What's up, everybody? This is Ryan Menezes, correspondent for Two Fat Guys Talkin Football. I'm here behind the camera, and out in the distance there we've got on the left Jon Gold, aka Jonah Hill, and on the right Sam Strong, aka Chaz Bono. They're about to run the slowest 40-yard dash you will ever see, but we're interested in the winner here. So let's check if these guys are ready. You guys ready?
Yeah.
All right, on go. 3, 2, 1, go. Oh.
All day, son. All day, son.
A few questions for the winner.
Again.
How are you feeling, John?
Unsurprised.
You didn't fall down this time.
I'm doing.
Is that the biggest accomplishment here, that you didn't fall down at the end?
I'm doing all right now.
My left hamstring still hurts a little bit.
Oh yeah, that's
re-aggravated.
We all knew what was going to happen, guys. Thousand Oaks High School.
I'm questionable.
I'm done.
Yeah, putting Sam on the injury report.
We'll talk to you on Wednesday.
I'll never talk again. I'm
Won't be on the next edition.
Guys, pretty much all that you need to know from that is Jonah Hill would ruin Chaz Bono in a race. Thanks for watching, guys.
Chaz can pirouette circles around it.